Hello guys, this is fourth lecture on transportation problem. In this lecture, we will study about Vogal approximation method, or in short, VAM method. So in this method, what we have to do? In this method, we have to find penalties in each row and each column, and penalties can find by this particular phenomena, that is difference between lowest and second lowest term in each row and each column. That is, if a row, suppose this row contains 2, 3, 6 and 1, then the penalty of this particular row is 1, because the lowest element is 1 and the second lowest element is 2. So the penalty is 1. And if suppose there are 2, 2, 6, 4, now the lowest element is 2 and the second lowest is 4. That is, we have to find the difference between lowest and second lowest term. So lowest term is 2 and the second lowest term is 4, then the penalty is equals to 2. And in this way, we select the maximum penalty and complete the entry corresponding to it, alternately from lowest to second lowest and so on, till that entry does not complete. Now leave the row and column whose entries are completed. That is, if this is the maximum penalty, then we have to fulfill all the entries of this particular row. So what we have to do? We have to fulfill the entry first from at the very lowest element. And if anything is remaining, then we have to move to the next element, that is second lowest element, that is on this 2 or on this 4. So in this way, we have to complete all the entries of the corresponding row or column of the maximum penalty. Now make new matrix with remaining row and column and repeat this process till we get 2 by 1, 2 by 2 and or 1 by 2 matrix. That is, first we have to fulfill all the entries of the corresponding maximum penalties and then leave the row and column whose all entries are completed. Now make a new matrix, again find penalty, again put entry on the elements, again leave the row and column and repeat this process till 2 by 1, 2 by 2 or 1 by 2 matrix arises, and fill all the remaining entries to these elements by finding penalties. And now calculate maximum Z by usual method. Solve by Vogal approximation method. These are the factories from which we have to make the supply, and these are the markets 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is 3 factories and 4 market, and we have to solve this particular problem by Vogal approximation method. So for this method, first we have to identify penalty row and penalty column, that is P. So for the penalty row, what do we have to do? Select the lowest, find the difference of lowest and second lowest element of each row and each column. The lowest element is 13 and the second lowest is 16. So the difference is 3, which is the penalty. Same as for the second row, the lowest element is 14 and the second lowest element is 17. So the penalty is 3. For the third, the lowest element is 18 and the second lowest element is 27. That is, the difference is 9. Same as we have to identify penalty from each column. So the lowest element is 17 and the second lowest element is 21. That is, 4 is the difference. From this, the lowest element is 16 and the second lowest element is 18. That is, penalty is 2. For this, the 14 and the 18, that is, the difference is 4. And for this, the lowest element is 13 and the second lowest element is 23. So the difference is 10. So we have to identify the maximum penalty. What is the maximum penalty? Maximum penalty is 10 from the penalty row and penalty column. So we have to first fulfill this entry to this particular column from lowest element to highest element. So the lowest element is 13. So first we have to fulfill the entry on this particular element. So the demand is 15 and the supply is 11. So put 11 on it, it is completed. Now move on to the next element, because still 4 demand is remaining. So move on to the second lowest element, which is 23. For this, demand is 4 and the supply is 13. So fulfill 4 at this. And what is remaining? 9 is remaining. Now this entire demand is completed, so we have to leave it and move on to the next matrix. So for the next matrix, we have to remove this particular row and this particular column. So first calculate whether corresponding demand and supply are equal or not. So the supply are 28 and the demand is also 28. So it is balanced problem. Now select the penalty for each row and each column. The lowest element is 14 and the second lowest element is 17. So the difference is 3. Here the lowest element is 18 and the second lowest element is 27. So the difference is 9. In this particular case, the lowest element is 17 and second lowest element is 32. So the difference is 50. Same as 9 and same as 4. So again identify the maximum penalty. The maximum penalty is 15. So we have to fulfill the all corresponding demand of this particular column. That is, we have to put the entry on this particular 70. The demand is 6 and the supply is 9. So we have to fulfill the 6 on it. Still 3 is remaining. That is, it is fulfilled entirely. So we have to move on to the next matrix. Now again find penalties for this, and this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So we do not want to move to the next step. That is, we can fulfill all the entries in this particular matrix. First we have to identify that at which element first we have to fulfill the entry. So for this, define penalties 4, 9, 9 and 4. Now since the maximum penalty is tied, that is 9 for the this first column and 9 is also for the second row. So which penalty we have to select? We have to select the penalty with whose corresponding demand or supply is maximum. So the demand for this penalty is 10 and the supply for this penalty is 19. So what is maximum from 10 and 19? This 19 is maximum. So we have to fulfill this 19 first. So in these elements, first select this 18 and put 12 on it. What is remaining? 7. So we have to fulfill to the next element, this 7. So for this 3, where we have to put? At this particular element. That is, all the entire entries are completed. Now we have to fulfill all the entries to the original problem. So this is the original problem. We have to make a combined matrix and these entries are already written in this particular matrix. Now we have to put all the entries from this and this particular matrix. So in this matrix, second row, first column, the entry is 6, that is this. And no other entries exist. Now in this second row, second column, the entry is 3 at this particular element. Third row, second column, entry is 7 and the third row and third column entry is 12, that is at this particular element. That is, all the entries are completed. Now BFS are basic feasible solutions. X14 is equals to 11, X21 is equals to 6, X22 is 3, X24 is 4, X32 is 7 and X33 is 12. Total transportation cost, which is equals to 11 into 13 plus 6 into 17 plus 3 into 18 plus 4 into 23 plus 7 into 27 plus 12 into 18, which is equals to rupees 796. So this is the required solution of this kind of problem. And for the optimal problem, for the optimal solution, we have to move further by this particular method. That is, this method is most appropriate method to find the BFS because this minimizes the total cost, total transportation cost other than the previous two methods, that is northwest corner and least cost entry method. So for the process of to find the optimal solution, that is by the Modi method, first we have to find BFS by this Vogal approximation method. Then we have to test optimality, whether optimality can be tested or not. If the particular condition exists, then we can test optimality, otherwise we cannot test optimality. So this will be discussed in the next lecture. Hope you understand the content of this lecture. If you like this lecture, then like, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you.